I got to tell you what, he really does kind of look like Marilyn Manson with those beady little narrow eyes that are kind of close together. That does look like Marilyn Manson. But my thumbnail makes the movie look better than it is. And
Yes.
I did that to composite.
That's not difficult.
This is false advertisement.
False advertising. And speaking of that, we are live. And so I'm going to say very quickly, this episode was brought to you in honor of David Soul's soul. We know his soul also hated this movie. This is also brought to you by Hillary Megaphone. Come on, everyone. It'll work this time. Russian collusion.
And in case you can't hear her, even my cat is protesting that we do this stream.
Exactly.
She started fucking around like when you went live. She's not cool with this.
Exactly. So I think this is all of our general reaction. That's what we think.
This is how it is. This is how it is.
I swear this is like glue bounce.
This is how it
I write cool
is.
fucking music.
This is how it is. This is how it is.
I see Tom Baker is here.
This is
Hello,
how
Tom
it
Baker.
is. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is. Today. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is. This is how it is. Today on Pop Culture Minefield. Today on Pop Culture Minefield.
And I see Penny is here too. Hi, Penny.
Hi,
Hope
Penny.
everybody's having a good Wednesday. I get so caught up in that song, I forget to do the thumbnail. Remove it. So, look, I'm going to be frank with you. This is, I'm going to say this is a disclaimer. The name of this show is We Love This Fucking Movie. So the show's logo in no way expresses our actual feelings for this movie. This movie was a waste of fucking time. It really was. But it had some really good stuff in it. One of which was the cast. The cast did a great job. One of the most impressive things that I saw in this film was Bill Pullman's son that plays Ben Mears. Oh my fucking God, does he look like his dad? Fucking
Yeah, but
wild.
his character was so flat. They went nowhere with him.
Well, they didn't understand the character. And look, writers today, those kind of writers today are afraid to make male actors look good. Here is Bill Pullman on the left, and that's his boy that plays Ben Mears in this movie. This film needed 2 more rewrites by real writers.
And it needed to be
understand.
longer because
It
well, it's
needed
a
to be
waste of time.
longer.
It's so
It should have been
rushed.
3 hours. It should have
Yeah.
been 3 hours. Because if you're going to do the whole book, you need to do it. Also, another thing that pissed me off is the logo right above me there. You know, it's not Jerusalem's Lot. That's another short story by Stephen King from the Night Shift collection. Salem's Lot is called Salem's Lot. At one time, it was Jerusalem's Lot, but it eventually changed to just Salem's Lot. So the very final shot of the film, which was also annoying in different ways, is the fact that they listed as you are now leaving Jerusalem's Lot. No,
That
you're
was
not. You're leaving
weird.
Salem's Lot. Well, yeah, in this movie, too much money got dumped into it, and they changed things they shouldn't have changed. Stephen King fucking was sucking their dick over this movie. Did you read some of the shit he said? Oh, this is the best adaptation. Fuck off. The best adaptation already happened in 1979. And it's a great fucking movie. Yes, it was a 2-part miniseries, but they eventually combined it into one movie because really that's what it was. It was a single movie shown in 2 nights. Their idea of miniseries is stupid when they only do 2 parts. And it's not the only one they've done that with. They did it with It. It should have been done as a single movie. And we will be doing it. I'm pushing for that for this Friday. But I will tell you the sad news. This is our final episode on the Pop Culture Minefield StreamYard account because they decided to bump our $10 a month account because we had the special deal. They ended it and put us up to $44.95. And I'm like, $44.95? That's almost double what we were paying previously when we were paying the full amount. Earlier this year, back in January, we were paying $24.95. With tax came to $27, $28. So, yes. Oh, I saw somebody calling the
It's
show.
not like they're giving us stuff. They just went up with the price. They didn't improve anything.
Yeah, they
or
just
fix
was a new
anything,
owner.
nothing.
We saw that back in I think it was August, and then September is when our account technically ended. They one final payment at the 10 something, and then they upped it for some reason because Martin is south of the border. They're like, oh, he's in a depressed economy. We better keep giving him this deal. So we're going to be switching over to Martin's account. He'll be in charge of setting up shows and stuff. I still have access as a team member, but I'm going to be focusing just on the graphics and checking to make sure that the title of the video says what I think it should say. So
I think we still need to find another solution because you never know when
we
they are
absolutely
going.
do.
That's just
They're
a question
going
of
to.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, when are they going to do it? So we'll see. Rain on the Asphalt, I totally agree with you. He had no problem trashing Kubrick's The Shining, which is a better film. It's actually better than his book. And people go, diehard Stephen King fans get mad at me. And I'm like, you're actually talking to somebody who's read his fucking books. And he has a consistent fucking narcissism problem that he has to make every single, like, could you imagine everything I've ever written, the main character as a comic book artist? How fucking narrow is my bandwidth if I did that as a writer?
He has great ideas, but he's not a good writer.
Think about that. That is such, I mean, I believe in romancing the stone, okay, which is an old term for putting yourself into one of your books as a character. And I do that with everything I do. And you'll know who it is because his name will either be Patrick, because that's my middle name, or it will be Phil, which is the nickname my dad gave me when I was 17. And the nickname was because I waxed philosophical all the time over things. And he thought it was funny. I've never met a kid that waxed philosophy so much. And so he started calling me Phil as a joke. And I didn't think it was an insult. I always took that as kind of a nice thing to say to me by my dad, that he noticed that I wax philosophical all the time. So, and by the way, Penny, I'm making another announcement right now that I will be releasing my full album in December. Each song is being mastered right now, and I've got 2 back that are done. And so there'll be a total of 20 songs at this point that I know of that are going to be on this first album.
I thought you had 19. Where's number
No,
20
it's
coming
20. I
from?
went and I did another count. It's 20 songs.
Oh.
And if it was an album, it would be 10 on one side, 10 on the other, and you can't do that. You can't fit that many songs on an LP. So it's going to be a long album, and it's prolific. I've gone back, I've revisited some of my old music, and I've updated it because I'm better as a producer, and I want to get away from my voice singing. So I'm replacing because I write music that really should be sung more properly. I'd always dreamt my daughter, and I think I held off for so long, hoping that my daughter would want to sing my songs, but she gets all nervous and I've got my job, and I just every excuse in the world. My daughter, I love her. I love you, Zoe. You're the best. I'm proud of you, but you are a chicken shit sometimes, and that's something that surprises me.
No, I
It's-
get that she doesn't want to get involved with your music. That should be your thing. That could
No,
lead
that's
to
not why she's
problems.
doing it. She gets nervous that she's not going to be able to do it. And instead of trying and failing, she just kind of quits. But look, she's doing artwork, and I'm so happy
doing
she's
her own
doing
thing,
it.
and she's good. I love her
So
artwork.
that finally made me make a decision technically it was last year when I started really coming back to this stuff, but it was this year when I really ramped it up and I got serious about it. Being homeless really changed my perspective on things, and it's like, wow, I really better get things done. And I'm also like, look, man, don't tell my girlfriend I said this, but I know I'm on the last part of my life, and so I want to get all these songs in me out, and I think it's important to get all your creativity out and done, so you can leave this life knowing that you did something worthwhile, left something behind. Because everybody worries about that in life. And I think that's one of the biggest driving forces for artists is to live beyond the grave. And I mean, you look at Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, first thing I ever read in my life that wasn't Black Beauty was Edgar Allan Poe when I was 14. And I fell in love with that stuff, the darkness and the emotions that were in it. He is the guy who brought about what would be known as detective novels. He was the first. Murder in the Rue Morgue, Murders on the Rue Morgue, and the murder of Marie Rochette, which was based on the true story of a New Yorker socialite named Mary Rogers. And it's really all the evidence in there is from that case. And basically what he was doing is he's saying this is what happened to her. And then he created this fictional character, the detective. And they did make a movie that was really good, that really was a detective thriller called The Murders on the Rue Morgue with Val Kilmer and his future wife, Joanna Whaley, and George C. Scott as a preeminent detective. And Gary, would you consider having an AI clip for one of your songs? I have no problem with AI. I use AI prolifically. There are producer tools out there for producers to manipulate their music through using AI in ways so I can create new variations of something I wrote. And I love that. And one of my new songs, I used AI to pull it apart because I don't have the original recordings of some of my music. It got destroyed. And so with AI, I was able to pull it apart. And then I could, as a modern, because I produce better today and like way better. I've had 20 years since I started recording music. Is it 20 years? No, it's longer than that. 22 years since I began recording my first album. I know so much more now. There's my buddy Mephisto. What's up, brother? I wish he was on here with this because I would love to have him talking about good writing and good horror. So,
Or
but-
anything except this movie.
yeah, my problem is people who rely on AI completely, and you can't be a real music creator and rely solely on AI. And you got a lot of people that are doing that out there. You got to know how to produce. You got to know how to write lyrics. You know, and Tom, Tom Connor is my buddy. I love what he did. That music he wrote through using AI. I think I used a total of 8 different programs, and all of them have some AI in it. And one of them is pitch correction for my voice, because I have a very low register voice, if you didn't know. And I don't want to listen to my fucking voice on music. I don't like it. So I will do stuff with my voice, then I'll go in there, pitch correct it, and then I will completely swap my voice out. I even did one with a girl that sounded fucking amazing. Remember that one, Anima?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
In fact, you did a male voice for a couple of versions, and then you switched it to female. And oh my God, it made all the changes needed.
Yeah, I did a duet for one of my songs.
Gary and Garicia.
Because look, I'm kind of a fag for my girlfriend, and it's the first time I've really started writing songs about love that weren't about the complete destruction of it. I started writing positive stuff. My woman is my I just forgot the Greek term for that.
Muse.
Muse, thank you. But usually you don't get the muse. I got my muse. So don't tell my girlfriend that.
Well, for now, so don't fuck it up.
That's a threat right across the bow. Yeah. I felt that cannonball go right by my head. Oh shit.
Oh, this reminds me of As Good as It Gets, when he says, why, when anybody knows they are important to you, the first thing to do is threaten to leave you.
It's true. And I think it's problematic, especially in the United States. Western women in general can be problematic, but definitely Western women from America are problematic. And I got sick of dealing with all the emotional manipulation. I got sick of the
drama,
the falseness too. There's nothing more disconcerting than somebody say these words to you. I thought I was in love with you. I was wrong. And my initial response to it was, okay, so either you were lying when you said you were, or you're lying now. It's one or the other. And I despise emotional dishonesty. It's the one thing that I have to have in my life. Honesty, especially emotional honesty. And you will find that consistently in the lyrics I write, that I'm touching on those subjects of what's important. In fact, the song I wrote in it's 2005 when I wrote the original song, and I couldn't understand who I wrote it for because it wasn't written for anybody. It was written for the idea of who I think that I will fall in love with. And then I completed the song, and I didn't alter any of the lyrics. I added to the lyrics. And I found out the person I was singing about and writing about was her over here. The girl on the other side of the glowy eye vampire boy. So, and what's funny is the final mastered version of the song, I chose to switch out my voice with a deep voiced country boy. And I thought, this would be fun. It's a straightforward kind of pop song, love song, with a great hook. And it's sung by somebody that would be country western. And I like that. So I switched out my vocals and I switched them with that guy. You want me to share it, Anima? Just a
Why
little bit?
not?
Yeah, fuck it.
Because
You guys go. What? What?
nah,
Wade.
I was
Wade.
about to say
Hi, Wade. It's on YouTube.
Okay,
Go
Martin is
share
about
it.
to say something. I keep pausing because you're going to say something, then you don't say it. Say it.
the slideshow.
What about it?
It's 20 minutes in. That's when he starts the slideshow usually.
All right, then go.
Oh, we're
'Cause I
all
don't give
right
two
then.
shits about this movie, despite what that logo up there says.
That's just
I
the logo we're stuck with for Wednesday's show. But this
I
one we
apol-
need to talk about because it's new. We don't talk about it because we love it, which is usually our reason to talk about a movie. Because
And
I
I will say,
apologize
though,
to the audience.
very, very, very honestly, there are so many things within the film that I liked. But overall, I hated the fucking movie because they did it wrong. They made too many changes to characters, and really, by doing it, they destroy their motivations. They don't replace the motivations. I do like that we go in a little bit here on the Marston house that was owned by a gangster.
that one got completely lost because Ben, he's fascinated with the Marston house, but it goes nowhere. It's just there
And
to bring him
it
back to
doesn't-
Salem's Lot. That's
and he
all
doesn't
it
use
does.
it.
Yeah,
He doesn't
Mhm.
use it
not
either,
used at all.
because that was most of his motivation, is wanting to. There's something malevolent about this house, that location, and everything. Because just as he arrives, they arrive, the evil, and they move into that house and get it before he can get it, to destroy it, because he planned on burning it to the ground.
Yeah, but then he just doesn't get it, and the story gets rushed forward without
do
ever
like-
going into that.
Hold on, I want to go back a beat here. That is actually the logo from the book. What do you see not on that logo?
the
An
apostrophe.
apostrophe.
And the stupid
So,
glowing
clearly-
cross.
I hate the logo they used on the poster and marketing materials. That's a much better logo with the Marston house inside the O and the blood. I love that.
Yeah.
But again, this movie was made by people who don't know how to tell a story, a coherent story.
They really
So, and this is the one thing I didn't like. I didn't like this guy. Cast as Straker.
Hmm.
I felt he should have been older, not young. I
Yeah.
love James Mason in that part. And so forever, I've been hooked on the fact that we need somebody that's European as well. And I don't mean fucking British. I mean old European. And they should have got somebody like the guy that played the enemy in Civil War. I like him as an actor. He would have been better in this part. This guy just feels like a Ewan McGregor knockoff.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah. I can't unsee
Oh,
it
you didn't
now.
notice that?
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm
He
stuck
looks
with
he
that.
looks too much like Ewan McGregor, and it's disconcerting. I dislike this scene because it doesn't show the creeping of the fucking crate moving towards them while they're driving, because that was fucking creepy. So they said, what we're doing is a readaptation of the book. It's not a remake. Yeah, sure. Okay. The whole not having a light thing was stupid. Also, I don't know anybody good enough to back up a rig like that when there's a guy he knows is behind him that he can't see. Nobody would fucking do that.
Yeah, Zach, stick around and find out because we are
Zach,
going to
you should
continue
be
to
here.
shit on this.
God damn
Yeah.
it, you are my bro. You should be in here helping me shit on this fucking movie, as well as pointing out some of the things they did well. I will just tell you right off the bat, I loved the vampire stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love the way they did Barlow in the first film, but the bucktooth thing was a nod to Nosferatu, and it didn't make sense because all the other vampires got their fangs in their canines instead of their front two teeth in Leigh. And Anime even brought that up. And I'm like, shh, you're not supposed to notice that.
Yeah. Fuck that.
But it was one of the small problems with that original production.
Yeah,
I also like
hasn't watched it too. Nobody watched this fucking movie but us.
I watch things that are bad every once in a while because we need to talk about it. And you should talk about it too, Zach. You should watch this movie. And I will join you to talk about it on Wednesday night. I will fucking do it. If you will fucking watch the movie, I will join you to talk about this.
I would join you if you weren't streaming so fucking late.
And by the way, just to let you guys know, Anima's completely head over heels in love with me and is moving here. So should I tell them that you're planning March?
And I'm not going to move in March, but I want to come back in March.
Yeah, you're going back afterward. I'm going to make sure your cat sit here. Okay. I like the design of the Marston house. Yeah, you won't know about it. I'll be working with your friend Heidi, and we will do it. I'll speak in very bad German, but she'll understand me enough to. I think that he wants me to send the cat to America.
Back to the movie.
Back to this, please.
I like this design for the house.
I want to make pieces. I want to make pieces with sacks. So
hey, fuck you, Kyle.
Yeah, fuck you, Kyle.
Yeah.
I will tell you that the house that inspired the Marston house is not the Psycho house, but it is connected to the Psycho house. But the original house that inspired the Psycho house that is in New York, and it's still there. And you can actually visit this place. It's haunted. Supposedly. Allegedly haunted. Sounds better when you do it, honey.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of things sound better when I say them, Gary. Everybody knows that.
No, it's So no, it's time for Gary to move to Germany.
What would he do there?
You are just trying to piss her off because she doesn't live in Germany.
No.
She lives in High Germany, known as Austria. This is Vienna.
I already have a cat.
He has a wonderful cat, and I want to get to know this cat. So I'm looking forward to it. I want her to bring that cat. And everybody's planning for March that we're not letting you go back.
Yeah.
Just so you know. We are changing the locks to where people can't get out.
Who is going to pay for this? You're delusional.
One-way trip, man, it's a lot cheaper than, well, that's not true, actually. I found out sometimes they overcharge for one-way tickets. I haven't seen the whole movie, but I have seen clips, and compared to the original, I can say, was the original perfect? No, but was it better than this? Absolutely. So I do like what they did, that they made this look like that New York house that inspired the house in Psycho. There we go. I found it. It was a hotel. I think they still treat it as a B&B. Oh, good. It's JPEG, so I can share it. Yay. Yay.
Yeah, they waste William Sadler in this.
Yeah, and how they treat him at the end pissed me off, because that's not what happened in the book or in the original film. Once again, that's Bill Pullman's son in that car. Fuck, he looks like his dad.
Except for the.
But I will say that he doesn't do the eye thing that Bill Pullman does all the time when he's thinking.
Yes.
And that's how big a fan of Bill Pullman I am, because I love Bill Pullman. I just love him. And it just, he cracks me up when he stops to think. He does this squint thing and looks up through squinted eyes. I'm like, what is he looking at?
He's looking for the return of the aliens.
So let me see. I'm going to show this before we go any further. So the Marston house was inspired by this house that is in New York, Upper New York. You can go there. It's gorgeous. This also inspired the famous painting of the house on the railroad. And I think it was one of the Wyatts that painted, I'm not sure. But it's a beautiful fucking house. And it inspired Hitchcock to use that for the film. And he oversaw the design of that house. And then it inspired Stephen King. And so that's why it's used both in the first film and in this film. That design. That's an old Barney Fife cop car. That's the one thing I loved about this fucking movie. That they kept it a period piece.
In the 70s, yeah.
It's early 70s and got great soundtrack for this thing, including a song that includes Wolfman Jack in it. And it was the Wolfman Jack song. I fucking love that song.
Yeah, and Gary kept pointing out that my dad had that car, that exact car. I was like, yeah, I don't know. You've said that 5 times now. But he got so excited about that car. It was kind of cute.
See, it says Jerusalem's Lot, and I'm like, what? It's not what was on the sign. It's Salem's Lot. Oh, go back. I was reading that. I'm sorry. It looks similar to the Addams Family. Addams Family house was also inspired by it. And he used it in the cartoons, the little comics, little single panel cartoons that he would do. Malice is a great fucking movie, dude. My dad and I could sit for an hour or two talking about that movie. All the shit that's in there. Gary, I want you to know that we did not have that car. Okay. God, he looks like his dad. It's so freaky, man. Little Pullman. Oh, speaking of little, okay. I watched the new Hugh Kwan's movie, the kid from Indiana Jones and Goonies, little kid.
Short round.
Film. He has a new action film out. And I watched the trailer, and it's got this whole thing. They now have this thing in their head about Deadpool. Like, put the gayest song you can put into a fight scene. And I got past that because he's doing fucking kung fu in it. It's a kung fu action film about a guy who is a killer, who has changed his life so deeply that he completely has forgotten who he was.
What's the name of the movie?
Total Recall. You know, it's kind of nifty that he is like shut off a part of his brain, the access to it. Created, what are those that called? Your the
Compartmentalize.
You say it again?
Compartmentalize.
Oh no, not it is that, but there's another name for it. Sherlock Holmes used it. They used it in Stephen King's Dreamcatcher, where he was in his brain hiding.
Palace. Or Mind Palace.
Mind Palace. You create mind palaces, and it's not just one. You have many. And he basically locked the door on one of them to his past, and so he can only access current stuff. But as he's getting the fuck beat out of him, suddenly they show it in the trailer. They always show way too much in the trailer, where he just goes, and you hear the whoop sound, and he comes up fucking these guys up, fucking them up. And I'm like, I don't care if this movie is any good. I'm going to fucking watch it because I love that guy. His story is so powerful that they kind of just wrote him off in Hollywood, and he came back in his first major film, fucking won an Oscar. They had years with this guy. They could have had. And it's not like he didn't know the right people. So
Dude,
anyway,
it's
what?
uncanny how much he looks like Jackie Chan now.
Oh, and that's what it is. I call him Little Jackie Chan because he's smaller than Jackie Chan.
He
And
looks
so
like
that
he
is my
was
new
his
nickname.
brother.
Little Jackie Chan. Did you see the new trailer?
No, I look.
me
I
get it.
found
Let me
the
get it.
trailer on IMDb, but I'll watch it after the show.
Oh, so you did find the trailer. Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
Love
I'm going to go to
Hurts
my
is the
history.
name of it.
Love Hurts. And I am going to go find it so I can share it with everybody here. And you know what? I watched the trailer to The Electric State, and I kind of enjoyed the trailer. We need to show this one now. This is the man who dislocated my shoulder. And this is him knocking the shit out of his son, Mark Dacascos. And anybody who knows martial arts films knows who that is. He took over playing the TV version of The Crow. Oh, absolutely. Look, dude, I'm going to tell you something. With a proper edit that would take this movie down to about 45 minutes, the one thing I would not change in here is the vampire stuff. I liked it. I liked their version of Barlow.
I like the photography. Man,
I love the photography. I love the soundtrack. I think the cast is great, except for the guy playing Straker is wrongly cast. I didn't like his performance either. I didn't like the showing him kidnapping the kid and trying to run away with him. I thought it's just fucking skeevy as fuck.
And the way he was talking to his master, like he was reciting fucking Shakespeare, that was weird.
It's all fucking weird. They made so many mistakes with this movie, but there's so many things that are cool in this film. And I'm telling you, the first thing, making a period piece in this town looks period. The only fuck up they make is having a black female doctor in this town up in Upper New England state, in a New England state.
In the 70s.
A nurse, yes. A charge nurse, yes. You would not have a black woman doctor in a town like this.
And she was only cast because she's female and black. That's the only reason to cast her.
And this needed to be a small town clinic, like that has rooms in it if people need acute care, but it wouldn't be a hospital in a town like this.
Look who's back. Hoyo.
Where have you been?
Ojo, brother, what is up, man? It's always good to see you. You should join us, man. Fellow veteran, especially on Mondays. I'd love to have you on there again.
We never had him on Monday.
I think he joined me once. Or it was for something. I can't remember, but he has joined me.
There.
Yes.
That was a stipulation. He would only come on if you weren't there.
Oh, fuck you.
I think it was the promo episode we did for Vindicated.
Yep. So I'm going to pause it here. Do me a favor, Martin. That link I just shared with you, the YouTube one, would you share that real quick so people can see the guy who kicked my ass at training? He was doing an exhibition training where he would come in, and I was picked because I was the biggest guy in the dojo. And it was Terry Faircloth's Kaja Kimbo class up in between Federal Way and SeaTac Airport.
Wait.
So this was a major problem for me, that the casting here of this character, because she was Catherine in the book and in the original film, and they combined her with the receptionist for the real estate agent, and then go nowhere with it. So, okay, go ahead and pull it up. This is Al Dacascos, whom I'm still friends with. I love this guy. And he did just, it's my fault, but he dislocated my right shoulder. And then he and Terry, both of them, because I'm so much bigger than them, both of them had to pull my arm out while I pushed it back in. And it's why my arm is still fucked up to this day. Torn rotator cuff. But Here, this is him kicking the shit out of Mark Dacascos.
Well, let's go into what Kajukenbo is all about. First of all,
Do you have audio?
Kajukenbo started out
Yeah.
1947. It's made up of the art of karate, judo, kempo, and Chinese boxing and Western boxing. In
Hence, the traditional name is
1969,
Bo.
this was the formation of One Hop Kendo. And what One Hop Kendo means is a blending in of arts, a combination of fist arts, utilizing all the basic structure and roots from Kajukenbo. Let me explain to you, first of all, with my son Mark, the basic components.
This is
of
back before anybody
Kajukenbo.
knew who he was.
You'll see the strength. You will see the techniques that looks like judo, jiu-jitsu, and the snapping techniques, which is really a significant in Kempo. We'll do it slow first, okay? Typical Kajukenbo technique, and we usually refer to this as our basic number one.
Number one.
Block,
It's actually, we call
Destroy.
that a check-in now.
kick, down,
Check-in.
okay?
Now, he takes it easy
When
on him
it's
here, but
done-
when he goes full speed,
A little bit more.
look at Mark's face when he
Fast
gets
pace,
up and the sound
it
he
moves
makes
like
when he
this.
hits the ground.
Okay.
Now watch his face.
When we take it into the Kajukenbo One Hop Kendo section, there are
He
two
knocked the shit
techniques
out
that
of
are
it.
emphasized. And notice there are 5 to 6 hits. The first,
Check-in,
the destroy,
strike,
the groin,
kick,
the eyes,
gouge.
the back fist, and then taking it from here down. Okay. Okay.
Nice judo throw.
When this is done, it will look like this. Okay. Lock.
Mother of God.
Yeah, that's the style I learned. It's for close quarter combat. So he was, by the way, Al was the one that they wanted to play Bruce Lee back in the 80s when they were trying to make Dragon. But eventually he got to where he was too old to play him when they finally made it in the 90s. So they ended up having to find Jason Scott Lee. I never talk about that stuff. I know how good, because a lot of people don't know this. Al Dacascos was a student of Bruce Lee's, and he studied One Hop Kendo, Kajukenbo, and Jeet Kune, as well as traditional Kung Fu. Well, I got to tell you, Hojo, I didn't read the book until later. I read the first 2 short stories that were in the Night Shift book, which one was called Jerusalem's Lot, the other one Salem's Lot. And I enjoyed both of them. They're creepy as fuck. I personally think that that's his forte. Stephen King is better at short stories than lengthy stories, because he's concise in how he opens it and ends it. It's very simple, little bottle stories.
He has good
Read this
ideas. He
Read
just
this
sucks
comment.
at wrining. Oh my
Period
god.
piece. So it's a film about, yeah, I know. Sanders making a joke about menses or menstruation. It's a period piece. I've seen New Salem's Lot at cinema last week and thought it was okay, better than 04. I don't even talk about the 04 version. And I am a big Rob Lowe fan. Just, it was a waste of time, the ending. And that's the thing they fuck up in this one too. The major fuck up is how they end this fucking episode. This scene with the bully was ridiculously unnecessary. You can actually explain who he is as a person with the Glicks without this whole lengthy bully scene. But
Well,
I
that
do like
scene
the
led
foreshadowing
nowhere,
of the Houdini thing. But I'm going to say it again. Houdini didn't like being referred to as a magician. He referred to himself as an escape artist.
That's what he
And
was.
anybody who's a fan of Houdini would fucking know that.
Not a magician. I agree. That annoyed me too.
I liked the casting here of Mark and the Glick boys. Everybody's really good in this. Yeah, overseas it is not here. It was released on HBO Max. Mark, that is one of his best films. And I have won it because he did the best documentary on the life of Miyamoto Musashi. And I believe he would be perfect to play him. I love the casting here of the teacher. I forget his name. Good actor right here. Really good, solid actor. But I dislike this scene. But I do like what he says. Because he says, when somebody says uncle, people from here tend to be people of their word. So you let them up. But it's showing that he was kind of bullying him back by saying, he made him say uncle, but then he like held him down still. And it's like, that's a bullshit thing to show him do. But another problem with this film, and anybody who likes it, listen to this. You don't meet Mark's parents until they die. The night they die.
Yeah. It's just him.
Suddenly they're there.
The
It's like he's living alone in that house. It's so fucking weird the way they edited this.
And you see his room, and it is his room doesn't have the right shit for the kind of nerd that he is, too.
Oh yeah, like Sugar Hill. A nerd like him would not fucking have Sugar Hill poster on there. The Sugar Hill mob. That's fucking stupid. They show the other stuff, the monster stuff, because that's who he was. He was deep into Universal monsters and all that cool shit, because I was too. I had the Universal model kits that they have in this movie and they had in the original series. I loved them. I showed Anima. These are the ones I had.
And that takes me to the next thing, which for me was the worst thing that they did with the kid's character. The montage
stuff.
Yeah, stuff that he should know by heart.
He already knows garlic and all that shit.
Yeah.
So fucking stupid showing that.
But on the
what
other hand,
shown is a montage of him putting shit together, not researching.
On the other hand, people in the town, they jump to conclusions and they're always right. And you're like, how the fuck do they know that? They just know all of a sudden, and it's always right.
Now, this scene is put in there because they couldn't figure out how to get her to finally go out with him. So they show this empowerment moment where she announces, I'm going to the drive-in theater tonight. Why are you talking like that? I'm just saying I'm going to the drive-in at 9:00. It's like, it's kind of cute, but it's weird because that's not Catherine. And they changed her name in this. It's like Chrissy or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, Ben Mears is a weak character. He has no drive at all once he gets into this town. Once they shut him down with buying the the Marston house, he has no motivation in this story.
No, it's all Mark doing the cool stuff until the very end when he finally pulls his shit together.
Research and look up the way that my parents died, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is your opportunity to show what drives this character, and show the past, and show why he has such a hang up on that fucking. Oh my god!
Nothing of all
anything.
That.
They do nothing. There's nothing explaining Ben Mears' drive in this story. We know more about the fucking weird ass mother here, which is another weird thing that's not in the fucking book. God damn, man. She came to town for her dad, who was the town doctor. Now all of a sudden they don't have a town doctor. They have a hospital with a doctor in it, a black female doctor, which didn't happen in the New England states in the 70s. You could have medical people in there, but wouldn't be a doctor. So this is where the woke fucked up something here to check off a box. They got a great actor to play the doctor, but then she's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Most of the characters, yes, this movie would have been so much better with a crazy fucking Gary Busey scene. It really would have, Shinatsky.
Why are you not here, Shinatsky?
He should have been the familiar Straker. He should have been Straker.
So I'm going to tell you right now, I agree with you, Country Shape. I think it's a very cool design for the vampire. I love the one thing they do in this film. I think they do right is the vampire designs.
Barlow is great.
And they also did something that the original film didn't do, showing how the town was becoming underpopulated by humans suddenly. So where'd they go? Well, they're vampires. So that you see them out on the rooftops at night with the glowing eyes, which is reflecting whatever light's near them. Their eyes don't glow. I love
one
that.
of the cool spooky scenes when the camera pulls back and all of a sudden you see them.
Yeah,
all the
you see the building.
watching.
It goes to the church, and then when it goes back, you see the rooftops populated by fucking vampires. That was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
A scene better than the whole movie. Scene better than the whole movie.
Some of the scenes were really good, and a lot of the rest is just makes me make my noises. Oh, that sucks.
Hold on, I didn't know that. They called him Dracula in the end credits.
We should ask Andre.
Tom, I'll ask Tom. I'll just send him a message. I didn't know that. I thought I knew everything to know about that fucking movie. I was wrong about another thing, but I wasn't wrong. My information altered over the last 20 years. I had learned everything I knew about that film in the fucking 90s, the 80s and the 90s. And it changed in the 2000s. They found more copies of the film. I love Gary. Look, I'm friends with his son, so I don't make fun of Gary Busey, other than saying that's a crazy motherfucker, and I love that about him. I love how crazy he was. But yeah, once he cleaned up his act, he's not quite as crazy. I don't think it's gone. I just think that it's far more, because he'll pull it right back up in his performances. He'll go crazy in a role. And I love that about him. The guy knows how to fucking be crazy. One of my favorite roles he was in is a little film called Under Siege.
Mm.
He was one of the corrupt officers.
I know Predator 2 is unfortunate, but I like his characterization there. It's a fucking alien.
Oh, yeah. Fight back then, too. See, this scene here, you should have seen him at the school, the teacher. They should have found a better way of introducing the kids. And I would have had it this way. I know what happened on the playground today during recess. When a bully, even a bully, when they say uncle, you let them up. You don't keep holding them down to make them say something more. You know, there's a difference between teaching a lesson and rubbing somebody's nose and shit. And I think that would have been a better scene than having it take place on the playground. So you get the idea that something happened. You don't have to fucking see it, because you introduce a character when you see it, the bully, and then you do nothing with that character. Because this is something that you guys have to understand about screenwriting, that every bit of dialogue is there for two reasons. One, to make you understand the character, and two, to push the story forward. When you rely on devices like plot to move your story forward, it is a sign of bad writing. There's a few of my fave scenes missing from the original. Ned Tibbet beating up Ben, then Barlow, getting him in the jail cell. I remember that. Why wasn't that in the 3-hour movie? Because the final film was supposed to be closer to 4 hours, which I would fucking love. What happened to those scenes? I'd like to add them back in because I have a copy of the film. Is that, do you know Am I Dead Yet, if that's available anywhere? Well, the 3-hour, 3-minute version is supposedly the full cut, but that scene is not in there. Or was it? No, it is in there.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it is in there. It is. Yes. I remember it now. It is in there. So what you have to do is get the 2005 Blu-ray, okay? And it has the 3-hour, 3-minute cut, and that scene is in there. So get that version. I'm telling you, it will make you fucking happy because it's such a clean cut. Now, the whole idea behind this drive-in theater, I thought was a really good insertion. Because one, we all went to the drive-ins. And it's a great callback to the 70s.
I didn't.
And on top of that, I thought that because they know where the vampire lives, that he would not go back to that house. And so it's neat that they made the final battle here at the movie theater. What I don't like is the speed of the sun is stupid.
Oh.
On top of that, you can actually see the real shadow of the coffin, Barlow's coffin.
Static.
And they show the shadow moving, but his shadow of the coffin isn't moving.
And how did the vampires get there in the trunks of their fucking cars? When and how?
Well,
and why would they
night,
be there?
Clearly at night. Because they noticed that
they expose
morning,
themselves. All it needs is somebody going and opening the trunks while it's still sun. That made no sense.
Come on. They would rely on nobody noticing that. Because the only thing that leads them there was when he says, it's not just the people that are missing. Where did the cars go? And I thought that was kind of nifty, a nifty idea. Not a great idea. And I thought it was a nifty idea to have them hiding there. But they have a day walker there to protect them. She does a terrible job of it.
Yeah, one for a whole parking lot. I don't like this.
She's insane because and I hate the way they kill Straker, because Straker did. It's true. He was going to offer Mark up to Barlow, but he gets loose and he grabs a stabby weapon. And when Marston comes in the room, he mortally wounds him. Doesn't kill him. He mortally wounds him. And when Ben Mears and the others come back to kill him, they find Straker hanging off of a beam in the main room, library, den, living room, whatever it was. And he was strung up upside down the way Mark was. And it's not in there. He was fully exsanguinated. And you're left to wonder, did Barlow feed on him, or did they all, his minions too, all feed on him because he's drained, he's dead? Which I thought was really weird, because it seems like he would have probably made him a vampire, because that would have saved him. So I'm like, I don't know.
That's also something that didn't make sense. Some of the people they kill, some of them they turn, and you get no explanation.
This movie is so inconsistent with its
Someone
rules.
throws that one body through the window in the church. Why would they do that?
Why did that happen? What was the purpose of that? You bit and drained the fucking town sheriff and throw the body in there on consecrated ground. So, because isn't he supposed to become a vampire too? Oh my God, they're so inconsistent in this movie.
Also,
is it dumb?
Is it enough to bite them, or do you need to have them drink from you?
Yes, I can. That's the worst. This
is the worst, because that is the rule, and it was the rule in Stephen King's book that they had to drink the blood before they died to transform. And so the Glick kid, when he's in the hospital, grabs the blood and drinks it, and then he dies. And when he dies, he is reborn as a vampire. That was a better scene.
That's not a vampire's blood. That's a transfusion bag. That wouldn't make him a vampire.
I don't think it necessarily has to be the vampires. That's something.
That's the lore I know. The vampire who bites you, then bites himself and gives his blood back. That's how you transform into a vampire.
Louis, in the Anne Rice books, I can't remember. Did he drink?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did. So they get there. Okay, so let's say it's that. Then they don't stay consistent with it.
They also fuck with the whole invitation thing, because that kid just goes into Mark's room without being invited.
His interaction with the boys was, I don't think it should have happened. I think they should have shown him watching, and it would have been creepy enough. And then suddenly, just like in the original film, a shadow grabs one boy, and then his brother just keeps going because he doesn't hear him. And then by the time he knows, it's too late. Yeah, something like that. So I didn't like this scene. Hey, it's Ewan McGregor. Knock off Ewan McGregor. I wonder if he's a Jedi. Now I'm going to tell you, I think this young lady's a good actor, and I think she's gorgeous as fuck. So I was really cool with her playing the Catherine character, but they fucked up how they meet and why. Because she came to this town because she just graduated college. And
look,
I mean,
he's trying to do the
the squinty eye. Yeah, it's his dad.
Yeah.
He does look like his dad so much. It's so freaky. I think the kid can act. He's got good chops. But anyway, so her character loses her motivation because she was there for her family, especially her dad. And neither are Jedi. Yeah, I know. I don't give a shit about any current Star Wars. It's not real. It's fan fiction. So I do like this, but once again, his motivation is not there. And his falling in love with her is changed, and also them finding the first body, because they find the first body by going out to make out point. Somebody's typing.
Not me.
That's me. Look at the private chat.
You should have blamed Amelia. I mean,
so
this thing looks so PEDO. This whole thing with Stryker.
Yeah, Stryker just runs up like your typical child kidnapper. It takes the horror out of it. Instead, it was just creepy and skeevy.
And it continues when Ralphie comes back for his brother, and his brother, instead of staying in his fucking room, he goes outside to meet them, to meet his brother who just went missing in a scary forest. And then the headset grabs him.
They didn't want to have a repeat of the window. We can't have that twice. Well, it's twice in the book.
Stupid
and it works.
Not scary.
In the original film, they had it, and he falls prey to the vampire glamour of his brother and sees him as normal and says, "Yeah, come on in," and he feeds on him.
Yeah, and instead he goes out in the garden and gets grabbed by him from above, and the hand doesn't even look like a kid's hand. It's just
And so I think in the original Stephen King story, they don't have to drink the vampire's blood. They just have to die at the hand of a vampire, and then they come back.
That would make vampire population a problem, though.
Yeah, that would be so stupid.
That's what's in the book. That's what's going on in the book, is that he's populating this fucking town every time he kills somebody.
Yeah.
So he's wiping out this town. And to me, that there is a flaw in that concept. Because
a big one.
It's a finite problem. It will end. It will end. Once you do that, it's like, what you should do is have a town that gets a lot of tourism, and you feed off the tourists. Some of the tourists, not all.
You don't want to run out of people.
And William Sadler is such a good actor. He's so much better than the character he gets written into in this.
Yes, Shane.
Oh, there's no question, because Stranger Things is also inspired by this stuff. The priest is a drunk. Now, again, this is another inconsistency in the writing. It feels like it's taking place over a period of 24 hours, what just happened. And they're talking like this has been going on for days. That's because originally it was supposed to be going over days, but they don't give us any
They show it, though. They show at the end of the movie all the milk bottles in front of the house. Make it look like a week. And the mail, all of a sudden it looks like a week, but it hasn't been.
That is something you do throughout the film.
So rushed.
Not at the end. Not in the third act.
That could be editing.
Well, it's not just editing. It's the director had to be in the decision making as well as the studio, so they removed stuff clearly. Also, they don't really go deeply into the fact that Ben Mears arrives there at the same time as Straker and Barlow, and this stuff starts happening. So
And
the
they drop his
suspicion,
whole fascination with the house. They just drop it. It goes
and the
nowhere.
only thing that happens with him, and they do kind of mention it, is that he was around somebody when one of the murders took place, or when the kids went missing. So
That's one way of seeing it, Shannon.
yes, it's true. And I wish that, because I think James Wan had an executive producer slot on this. He should have removed his name, but I'm sure that he got paid extra money to keep his name in it, because that was a selling point. So while we're doing this, I want to announce all the people that are here. And once again, say, as a disclaimer, this show's logo in no way expresses our feelings about this movie. We do not love this fucking movie.
In case you haven't picked up on that.
So we got Tom Baker, Penny, Rain on Asphalt, Mephisto, or Mephisto, Real Wade, Country Shape Media, my buddy Hojo, Sanders Hammerslag, Am I Dead Yet? Shinatsky. Dave C is here. Eastland Burkholder, no relationship to Major Burkholder from Hogan's Heroes. See, they spend so much time on one scene instead of showing it their growing relationship over days. Huge fucking mistake in development. I do think that this starts out the way it was supposed to, but then he goes and hears something through the window, but instead of showing the brother coming to him, which is how a vampire would go to him, it wouldn't lure him out of the house. There's no way you'd go out of the fucking house in that fog, especially after your kid brother was kidnapped.
Yeah, I just said that. It's stupid. And it's not scary. It doesn't even look scary.
They nerfed the shit out of that scene, man.
And that's the robot right there, Anima. That's the robot whose chest opens up with the sparkly lasers.
Cannons.
Yeah.
I had one of those, and that's the description I give. The moment my daughter was born and I saw her, my chest felt like it opened and fired sparks. Incredible. Just I was so overwhelmed. And the same thing I had with you. And you're the only two people I've ever had that kind of response to.
Aww.
But this teeter-totter scene is so bad. It is just terrible. Suddenly a hand comes down and grabs him. Who was it? It doesn't look like his brother's hand. It comes down too quickly to know.
And all the fake fog doesn't make anything
and it's not
better.
Scary. This look, people who do jump scares in favor of doing a scary scene are assholes. Just telling you.
Yeah.
Jump scares are useful, but they're devices. They're not horror. Jump scares are just jump scares. And that's all the scene is. It's jump scare. Yeah, that's Colonel Klink. Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, he's from Vienna. The actor that played Sergeant Schultz.
I still have the better accent.
Hi, Michael. Welcome.
Hi, Michael. Yep, it was disappointing.
I didn't like the abduction. I think that they should have shown a shadow again. And it just suddenly grabs him. A good jump scare, as well as like, holy shit, he's just gone. And his brother should turn around and there should be nobody. Like, he shouldn't be able to see anybody.
And they didn't have to drag the scene out in the house where he's telling the boy how great it is to be sacrificed for the master. That was not needed. It was obvious what was going to happen to the boy. That didn't need to be that long.
Yeah, they did lengthy scenes that were unnecessary. Scenes
and
should
rushed
be,
the rest.
A minute, 2 minutes, and they would go longer. I don't know if I remember that movie. I'm gonna have to look it up.
this film isn't really scary. And I say that as a person who is easily scared by horror movies. That one wasn't scary. I think Abigail had more scary stuff than this one.
Oh, I love Abigail.
I watched that during takeoff on my flight to Atlanta because I needed distraction. So I opened the movies and I see Abigail. It was.
I really like that movie.
The first 5 movies, I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch a horror movie to get me through takeoff because I'm terrified of flying. It worked. What can I say? It worked. It's a little bloody though. The way that they explode in blood and intestines, it gets a little much towards the end. But yeah, it was.
I just watched half the trailer for Dead of Night. That really reminds me. I've never seen it. I got to watch this. It reminds me of an Agatha Christie story, the way the trailer plays. There's a film from around the same period with Boris Karloff in it. There we go. I've got to find this movie because I thought it was a really scary film for that period. Creepy. It has that same feeling of, and then there were none. It's Castle. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, that's another thing that pissed me off, that all of a sudden it's night when he begins to fill the grave. That and all the dirt, the pile of dirt is so far away from the grave, it would be right next to it.
And that was what was scary about that scene, is that it used the shadows of the grave to attack him.
Because it was during the day still, and they just made it a night shot and had him walk all the way between the pile of mud and the grave. So many stupid things.
Okay, I found Dead of Night, but it's 1945, not 48. Well, I have one for 45, another for 74, and another one from 77.
Well, the one I found was the one made in 48.
Please send me the link for IMDb, because IMDb only showed me the 45.
Well, it might be 45. Hold on. I put in 1948 and it just went there. Yeah, there it is. Dead of Night up in Leigh. So it is 1945. Yeah, so that's the one. It's close enough to 48. There you go. And that may be referring to the release in the United States. When it was originally released, it was 45. Hard to say when it got to the US. So keep talking. I'm looking up something right now. Both of you, save the day. Don't leave me as the only person talking, please.
I think I'm almost done venting about this movie.
You made notes, though.
Yeah. That this is the bullshit.
Okay, I found it. It's 1932 movie with Karloff in it. 1932, The Old Dark House. And this movie is just fantastic. Here, I'll share my screen. The Old Dark House. Share.
Oh.
The Old Dark House is a creepy fucking movie. And opens on a dark and stormy night. And Karloff, you think, is this monster in it, but looks maybe deceiving. What a great cast. Charles Lawton is in it. By the way, one of the worst things I ever learned was to find out that he was a fecal-philiac in real life.
Oh, I
Ugh.
didn't know. I didn't need to know that.
Nobody needed
If
to
I
know
have
that.
to know it, if I have to know it, you have to know it.
Fuck you, Gary.
I brought that up recently. Eastland, thank you. I brought this up to Anima that it needs to be one of the shows that we do maybe for next Halloween. Because the original film, I think it was Nick Knight, something like that. And it had, what's his name? Jesse's Girl guy, Rick Springfield, played him. And it flopped. So a couple of years later, the same showrunner producer said, let's try this again. They went to Canada and they made the series up in British Columbia. And it's a great series, man, where this cop is a night shift, or this vampire is a night shift cop. And he has enemies that are in the vampiric world. And he has humans around him that are unaware of who and what he is. I love that show. I thought it was very well done. Thanks for bringing that up, Eastland. Wait, who said Michael was responding to somebody here? Yes, the acting was also all. So it was perfect. Oh, you're talking about, yes, I don't like the new guy. Knock off Ewan McGregor. I do not like him. Okay, so here again, we see the first use of the crucifix with Mark when the Glick boy comes to his window. Have we gotten to that yet? Because I was off doing research. Or am I jumping?
I think you're jumping a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the Glick
I
boy
haven't
comes
noticed.
to see Mark.
I haven't
Okay.
noticed it yet. No.
Okay, so
We're only halfway through the movie. Not even halfway through.
The groundskeeper from the cemetery is staying with him, and he's becoming a vampire. He's sick and wheezing.
He sounds
He
terrible.
starts hearing noises upstairs. And I think we got a problem. This is another one from the book. She was more prominent in the book and also in the original series. The only thing I didn't like in the first film, and here they just it's even worse, that the guy who does maintenance for this little B&B is the town drunk.
Who is
and he's
her ex-husband?
Yep. And she keeps paying him to take care of things. Handyman. And sometimes you got to take care of the woman of the house too.
Ooh, well, yeah. I didn't like that how in the original miniseries she was adored by the whole town, and now she's cranky and bitching.
I need you both to come with me. We could talk about it once we're there. I got to tell you, I have friends. They show up at my house and say that. Yeah, I'm not going with you. You're going to tell me what the fuck I'm going to see.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like you, man. You're cool, but we're not that good of friends yet. And no, I'm not fucking falling for that shit. Last time I fell for that shit, I saw somebody's penis. It wasn't mine. That didn't happen to me. I'm just saying. That's what I would say to someone. And she really, God damn it, she's really pretty. The young lady playing it.
Hey,
deleted, not here. Thanks, buddy. So I've come to the point, delete. I'm going to fuck with him now. I've come to the point. Why do you even bother to tell us that you're not going to be there? We'll just assume that you're not coming and just tell us when you're going to be there.
He always makes it a point to let us know he's
like
not.
He always lets us know.
It.
I'm not going to be there. It's like, okay.
What else is new?
Start
nice
showing up,
speech to have
motherfucker.
you again. Yeah.
I miss hanging out with him.
Don't
don't
listen to them,
people
Steven.
I actually like, and he's one of the few people who survived my rant that day when I went off on certain two people, and he had to bear witness to that. And I'm sure everybody felt I was yelling at them, but I wasn't. I was actually talking about two people, but I was also letting everybody know, don't do what these two fucking people do. You will piss me off if you do that during a show. So I don't like it. And one of them is when people are talking or we're doing something specific, and your windows start doing show and tell. Don't do that. If you want to do that, we'll do a show where you can do show and tell. It's distracting. His partner's name was Spanky. I love that actor, by the way, Canadian actor, very good actor. And of course, they do remain consistent that once you die, you're now a vampire and your body heals. It's one way of knowing if they're dead or if they transform. So this is another thing I want to bring up that's going on today, predominantly happening to film. Notice the color that we're seeing here. It's not blue. It's a teal. And this is something, and I talked about it the other day, they're doing in film today because
teal and orange.
Teal and orange are on opposite ends of the art spectrum. So one makes the other stand out. So that's why they do it when you're going to see skin tones. And so everybody's doing it now. So almost every film, especially those that are shot digitally, they do it like all the time because it gives you a sense of depth as well. It helps you with depth of field. But you can put depth of field lenses on there, which do work good, which leads to that right there. This is depth of field. You see the two main characters there, and you look at the background, and it's blurred. That's depth of field.
They should do that with lenses, because the result has been that every fucking movie for the last 20 years looks the same.
Yeah, everything looks like it's The Matrix. And it's really exhausting on the eye for me. I hate it. I have talked to our Hispanic friend that Martin also talks to in the past about, is there something we can do to change that, counteract it when we watch it on TV? But look, she's a very good actor. She's been around for a while, solid actor and
Stupid
terrible
character.
Stupid character. They got a brilliant fucking actor playing a dumb character, thinking that, well, by hiring a great actor, it won't look stupid. It still looks sad and stupid. Okay, here's the glitch.
In fact, it looks worse.
To people who have a brain, it's
look
just
bad.
so obvious why they cast her, and it's not for her being a good actor. And that's just sad.
So this is a good scene. I like the way they did this, all the way up until the crucifix. The glowing crucifix is fucking stupid. And they're not consistent with how it works, because here, he's not touching it. It's glowing behind him to let him know, grab me. When he would fucking know that, because he knows what this is, which is what they had in the book and in the original film, that he instinctively knew this is
at this point. He's under glamour, right?
Well, not yet. There, he's under the
now
glamour.
he is.
I like that they did this.
And
this
it makes him open the window, but it doesn't make him invite him in, and he still comes in, and that annoyed me.
And in the book, he starts to open it. And in the original film, starts to open it, and then he shakes his head. And he's like, no, his willpower is greater than the glamour. And I love that in the book and in the film. And
it also makes sense because the kid is such a new vampire. He's not that good at charming people yet.
And the other thing is, he's never invited in.
Yeah.
You have to invite the vampire in.
Yeah.
You can't just graciously open a window for him. They have to have the invitation. It has to be said. And they're not consistent with that in this. Again, they show this scene and he's about to go in. You can't go in that fucking window. You haven't been invited. Look at him. He's in the fucking room with him. How did he do? It's dumb. It's dumb. You show the rule that it exists in your fucking universe in the film and you don't follow it. One of the first rules in filmmaking and storytelling is create your world and then obey the laws of that world.
Well, later on, they do obey and stick to it because he revokes his invitation and it throws the vampire out of the house.
So you can't just go into the house. The whole
They
scene
keep
where
changing the
Barlow,
rules.
yeah, the whole Barlow scene where he shows up at Mark's house. You have to explain the invitation. And here's the funny thing, that Mark's parents had bought an item from Straker and Barlow. And by doing that, by inviting the delivery, they have invited Barlow into the house unknowingly.
Yeah.
And I love that. That doesn't happen in this one because you don't even meet. This kid is autonomous, raising himself. You know, his parents aren't reacting to anything in his life.
And it's so stupid that he's doing research here. He knows all that. He's into horror. He doesn't need to do research.
He already fucking knows these things. He's a horror movie nut.
Yeah.
So he should be making a list of like the vampire rules that are accepted to be the thing. And this is actually well done. I do like the scene, except for the cross. The other thing I don't like is this guy clearly has no military background. He does not know how to clear a room. So he just looks into this side bedroom, looks in there. You know, he didn't go downstairs. He's in one of those rooms. So he just sort of looks in the room and then cuts to go to the other room, goes into that room, and then turns around, comes back out. And then, of course, from the room that he didn't go into and really look, that's where he jumps in. I'm like, there you go, dumbass. You earned that one. Should have died because he's that stupid.
Stupid.
The glowing cross thing is so bad. This is so bad.
It gets even worse when they make a makeshift cross and start fumbling around, and it needs to be bonded or bound or something, and then it falls apart and stops glowing. Jesus fucking Christ. Who thought that was a good idea? It's not.
The glowing thing, here's what I said, how you make that work. It doesn't glow in their hand to them. But if you see anything from the vampire's perspective, then they could have showed that it glows with power.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Cool
yeah, I get it.
Listen to this. If they had showed, because I'm doing this, Shanatsky and I are doing this in the script. It's going to happen with a crucifix. That when you see the crucifix come out with a
crucifix
person
or cross?
You know what?
I'm sorry.
That doesn't fucking matter right now.
You annoy me. It does.
Whether it is or isn't doesn't matter. So it's still called a cruciform.
That's animal revenge.
So thanks for interrupting the story. So the whole idea is to have when a priest or somebody wielding a cross, pointing it at a vampire, you should see like a force around them. You're seeing what's happening in that room. You should see it, not just by the vampires going. We are in a world where we can create that. Glowing crosses is stupid. But if you cut to see the perspective of a vampire, that it should be glowing with power. Like it should not just be lit. It should have it should be radiating. And I think that would be cool. And we'll do that in ours. They handled this very poorly in this film. But I do love the fact that they keep the line in there. I revoke my invitation. And it not only throws him out the door instead of a window this time. Oh my God. It's like Evil Dead 2 when Bruce is being sucked by the vortex out of the sucked. Bruce is getting sucked. Bruce gets sucked out of the cabin and he's clinging onto the door. And you have a moment like that. That's what power this has. The revocation, and again, they do it here, but the vampire just enters Mark's window with no invitation. There's no invitation. And there he is, he's being impacted. But again, it's the will of a faithful person that stops these things and prevents them from using their glamour. Yeah, I like that in Dracula. That was one of my favorite moments. So again, this doctor is written so badly. I think they should have kept the dad in this story, and she should have been an RN, and he dies, and she has to take care of all the medical. They should have her as what's referred to as a doctor of nursing.
She would be a nurse practitioner, something
She would
like
be
that.
a DON. She would be a DON. That's what I would have made her, meaning that she has a doctorate in nursing. That'd be fucking totally believable.
In the 70s,
there.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, the
That
weird
she
thing
was
is she
really
gets,
his assistant.
she gets bitten and then she injects herself in the wrong part of the body, I have to add, with a rabies shot, and that
Anti-rabies.
keeps her from turning. That
It's
was
not an
weird.
IV medication. You do not want to put that in your fucking bloodstream. It'll kill you.
Yeah, that goes in the belly.
She
And
should have
also-
just shown her, like, inject it into her own stomach
Yeah.
and push it in. And it's
And
right
how does
next
that keep
to,
her from turning? It's
as I recall, it's right next to the belly button.
yeah.
It's like 3 fingers from the
That's
belly
how
button.
I learned.
So again, no, it doesn't feel like anything more than 24 hours to maybe 40 hours has gone by. When technically it should be days. But this been going on for days
Also,
because that guy lingered for a couple days with him in his house, the teacher.
yeah.
Also, him not being Ben Mears' teacher also takes away from the story that they have that connection. Why do they have a connection? It's just fucking dumb what they
That was
did.
odd. And the mother is dead too. When did that happen?
Off camera. I don't mind that. At least we got to see the character and know the character a little bit. How she loved her son and
But
lost
they
her
make
mind when
such a big point
suddenly
about
dies.
her children dying, and then she dies, and there's no mention of it until they need her conveniently dead body to check if she transforms.
Palmer had a better doctor. I know what he's talking about.
I don't.
Cat and lightness.
Sincerely, I'm devastated by you guys. Really.
Still.
Doctor, give me some news. I got a bad case of loving you. Robert Palmer
Stop.
redid that song. So I got that joke.
The fact that it still surprises you that I don't know things is shocking after more than 2 years.
Music is really shocking to me with you because you are a real music person.
I grew
Okay,
up on
so I'm going to
classical
flat out
music.
say this. When I heard about them race swapping the kid, I wasn't happy about it. But then I see this kid. I think he did a fantastic job.
The black kid, Mark?
In a terrible movie. The kid did a solid job of, he loves his parents. That's why he goes to his house.
They go a
Instead,
little
because of
bit
this
over
scene,
the top with him, though.
they flip things. And this scene takes place after his parents' death and the priest's death. So it just, man. This
He
movie
seems to have
just
superpowers for parts of the movie, and it's too much. Like,
Well, the whole
he's the
scene-
one superhero until Ben finally kicks in and does stuff.
He does the Houdini thing, gets out of the ropes,
And
and
that's
then
cool.
finds a crowbar, which is really logical because that would probably be with all those crates, and beats Stryker to death. And he just kills him arbitrarily. That's it. So now we need somebody to take Stryker's place to help the vampire. So suddenly, that's when we
crazy
see
mom.
that the crazy mother of Catherine, the main female, is being sexed up by Stryker early on. And like he saw that he was going to, it's fucking stupid. Like he knew he was going to die and needed someone to be a daywalker. That's so fucking dumb. That is just bad fucking writing.
Oh, that's a good scene that we have coming up. When he
Which
tells
one
him
is
to
this?
get the light. When he tells the boy and him, they were trapped in the basement, and he helps the boy get out and tells him to grab the light, and then there's a vampire behind him, turning on the light and grabbing him at the same moment. That was cool.
Yeah, he crushes it and goes for him. I really do like the vampire stuff in this.
Yeah.
This scene would have been so much better if it weren't so dumb. The way everybody is acting. Let me understand this. You explain to me again. This is in the 70s and nobody is wearing a cross.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially in a
Man,
small
one of the
town.
most prevalent especially in a small town. One of the most prevalent jewelry things that people wore were fucking necklaces with crosses on them.
And that's probably right in the Bible Belt too.
This is even before the
little town.
popularity of St. Christopher medals. That was closer to the late 70s going into the 80s.
Oh, they
But
do
the cross
mention that
was
though.
everywhere.
They do mention that getting a St.
Hey,
Christopher
Eli.
medal would help. Hi, Eli.
Yeah. Tucker and Dale in it. Yeah, put Tucker and Dale in everything. It becomes better. So this scene is kind of nifty the way it starts, the whole idea of her changing. But Ben Mears, knowing they're dealing with vampires, and he's supposed to be this really smart dude, doesn't already have a little kit with him all the time. And at least have a cross and a stake with him.
No, they have to make one and they fuck it up.
And by the way, not wooden stakes. It was iron stakes. The iron, because it's so close to human blood, that we have iron in our blood, was fatal to vampires. Not just silver, iron. And you would put an iron stake through their heart and cut their heads off and then burn them.
With the mouth full of garlic.
Because what happened was he loved Dracula. Stephen King loved Dracula and said, how would I tell that story today? And that's what Salem's Lot is his telling of the Dracula story happening today, which was the 70s. It's like 74, I think, 73, 74. And the thing she's saying is so, it's hard to understand her, everything she's saying. So it's just like, why even have her say anything?
And the whole making up prayers was so cringy too.
Also, the whole Barlow is coming for you. He wants you.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like,
there goes
Raven
the Raven
shot.
shot.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Pull your shirt up. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, 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 no. Oh my God, you're acting like you know how to inject into a fucking vein.
Yeah, at least they don't go for the neck. I give them that, but yeah, that doesn't go in the vein.
Yeah, inject it directly into the wound. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
No,
And
I mean,
you're
often when they inject characters with stuff, they just go right into the neck. And that's very weird too. With a long ass needle at that. So, but what are you aiming for? The spine? Come on.
Yeah,
No,
now
he
he
just
thinks
goes
we
for
need to
that.
get something from Father Callahan. You've already known about the vampires, and this is just now occurring to you. A guy who makes a living as a horror writer. Fucking stupid writing of this film.
Weird ass character. God, I didn't know I was so annoyed with this movie until starting to talk about it and watching the slideshow.
And one thing I really liked in the original story and in the original film is that her dad was there to make sure you're not just coming here to bang my daughter kind of stuff. I like you. They're very friendly with each other, but he showed that protectiveness. Now, I like that he showed that the vampires are up on the roof at night, watching down, seeing what's happening. Yeah, like cats. Find the highest peak and go there to watch. Donald P. Borchers was producer for movies like Angel, 1984, and Children of the Corn, the original, and many other movies. And now he presents old B movies on his own YouTube channel. That sounds awesome, Tom.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Do me a favor, Tom. Would you share that link with me? Do we have contact with you outside of YouTube, like on Twitter or whatchamacallit, Facebook or anything? Let me go look it up.
I don't think so. What's the name of his channel so I can look it up?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking his name up. There, I found it. It's Donald P. Borchers on Twitter, and I just subscribe. The bell. Fuck yeah. Very fucking cool. He did a film that I actually thought was fun with Grace Jones called Vamp. Man Called Horse, hell yeah, Two Moon Junction. Beastmaster, oh my God, he worked on some really
I
good
love
films.
Beastmaster.
And by the way, if you guys didn't know, I don't agree with Paul on a couple of his assessments, but Heavy Spoilers just did a great breakdown of The Thing from 1982. He also brings in the 2011 film that I wish he hadn't, but he brings out every hidden detail in the film. And one of them I think he gets wrong, which is the final scene between Childs and McCready. So this scene should have been so much better than it is, because this is a come to Jesus moment for these characters. This is it. We're the only ones that are going to fight this, and we got to stick together. And
even the priest has given up. He has no faith in anything anymore.
And the priest being there doesn't make any sense, because in the story, he's dead already. The whole scene with Mark's parents took place already, which is why he is suddenly fucking in murder mode. He's in murder mode because of what has happened. He's lost everything, which is the connection between him and Ben Mears, because Ben Mears lost his parents. Do you see what they're not fucking paying attention to?
Yeah.
In this? You have two main characters who have violently lost both their parents. One's an adult and one's a child. And so his connection with Mark is so profound. And these guys are so inept in their writing that they don't even bother to recognize that that's why that was in the book.
Oh,
that's why that was in the original film.
You mean like fake Paul Atreides and fake Chani? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I will never watch anything from that universe ever again. And I'm probably never going to watch another one of his movies. I think he's a shitheel for saying some of the shit he did. Fuck him. Anybody who thinks that they're better at creating something than the master who wrote it as a book,
stupid,
go fuck themselves. That's why I don't like the dude that's made it. I don't like him. He did Hill House and all the things. He did one that I did like. He did one that was basically adapting all of the Edgar Allan Poe stories. Well, most of them. Telltale Heart and all that. That one I enjoyed just for that reason. Plus, it had one of my favorite actors in it, Greenwood, the guy that plays Captain Pike in the disastrous J.J. Abrams films.
Are you talking about Andy Muschietti?
Yeah. No. I actually don't have a problem with Andy. My problem is with the guy that makes those shows. He did Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. Mike Flanagan, thank you, Zach. I always think you're in my brain, Martin, and then I discover it's Zach's that's in my head.
No one wants to be there, Gary. It's a scary place.
Zach's Zach's is in my brain. He gets it. He gets me.
Would you know, Gary Dauberman? Yes, he has the name of a dog. Okay, Gary Dauberman was involved in the writing of the new It, and he is the culprit for this one. So there you have it.
I suspect that this was much better in its early form, and then was handled by the studio, and they hired other people to make changes so that it fit their political slant. Because I feel like there was once probably a good story here, and it got edited out. Like this scene right here, this should have happened earlier to let us know how many days have gone by. You need to show the passing of time in a film. Especially
because you don't get the feeling that it's been days. You get the feeling that all this happened within 2 days. And then you see all the mail and all the milk bottles, and you understand, oh, this was meant to be a week? Wait. Doesn't add up. Makes no sense.
Zax, you are a Phil Collins song. You're in my
Look
heart.
at that. Gay much?
Zax knows I love him so much. I really do. He was my first Martine.
I know. And then he left.
He got ambitious. And he made a decision to not stay with his friend. I've grown beyond you, Gary.
I wish he would come back and do a show with us once in a while.
I would just love to have him on. Because I love to have him and Martin on at the same time. It's fun.
I'd love to hang out with him.
Because Martin, you guys think he's just a producer on a show. He's very opinionated. And I like that about Martin. Martin gets so opinionated about things. And
about everything.
The thing that sucks for him is that he's not always sure exactly how to say it in English. And I have been trying to find a way to get automatic translation on here. So he could just go off in Spanish and it would just...
I know that feeling though. I know that feeling when you're really upset about something and then the words just don't come in the right language because there's more languages than one in your brain. I know how that feels like.
Let me tell you this about automatic translation. Some days ago, I saw a Mark Zuckerberg presentation of Meta and their AI, and they got two people, one speaking in English, one speaking in Spanish, and the thing was translating in real time, and it was shit.
Okay, I found it. It's called, all one word, Atomic Age Pictures on Twitter. They have 40,000 subs. I am subscribing right now. Thank you so much. I love it when I find out stuff like this. This is great. Look at, oh man, they've got a lot of good stuff. Here, let me show you. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Here's screen. I'm going to show both of these. Okay, this is Atomic Age Pictures page. It's just one word, Atomic Age Pictures, or you can write in @ in front of it and go there. And here, Martin, you want me to give it to you?
That
you
sounds
share this?
so wrong, but okay.
Okay, I'm going to put this in your hands now.
Oh.
If it's too big, don't worry. Use both hands.
Oh my God.
All right.
How to make a bad situation worse by Gary.
How to make an uncomfortable situation worse. Okay, here it is. This is Donald P. Brochures. And I'm going to give you the link to this one too. You can share it with everybody. There you go. So if you guys want to go check out those links he was just talking about, that's the links. So back to the movie. So this is something they should show, like a sunrise. That's a great way to show that another day has passed, another night has passed, another night. Night's important because that's what should happen. And then all of a sudden, the sheriff's like, the last scene he was doing cop work. Now he's fucking fleeing town. This movie should have been 3 hours long at least.
Got more into details at the right times. Skipped over stupid shit that nobody needed to see and stick to fucking rules.
Rules. Now he's fleeing town. He's going during the day. So why and how did they fucking get him? It's so stupid. And if they did get him, because he died at the hands of a vampire, according to their rules, when they throw him through the window, he should already be a vampire. And it should show him burn up. It's just fucking dumb. This movie is so
some of them just
inconsistent.
die.
Create rules for your fucking universe is something that Shanatsky and I are really going deep into with the screenplay, is that there are rules in this universe And as long as you stick to those rules, it makes it more believable. It's called the suspension of disbelief. That's a term in writing, suspension of disbelief. And the way you do that is that whatever you're going to show, it has to follow the rules of your world. And if you have to explain how it's doing what it does. This scene is stupid. I didn't like this scene because suddenly a vampire comes out of the shadows and bites her. They got separated while trying to kill the vampire. And then he finds her. And he couldn't kill her. He couldn't do it.
He can't let go. She's not herself anymore.
And so when they go to Guatemala in the original film at the end, she's the one that's sent to find him, hoping that they'll turn. And in many ways, if you think about it, this is a story about communism, socialism, the same thing. All socialism is democratically elected communism. So once you elect it, it becomes communism.
Yes, Paolo.
This is Stalin right there. That's Stalin. That's Lenin. That's Marx, all rolled into one. So these black people get killed. It's their only scene in the whole fucking movie. Like, who are these black people? Oh, that's his family? I didn't know that. Did you know that? Who the fuck are these people? Why are they acting like parents to this guy? It's so stupid. There's actually, Shanatsky, there's a couple of them that I go to that will actually use scenes from movies about the crime, and they'll go into it. I think it might be the same one you're talking about. And I kind of like that. You know, the narrator's talking, telling this crime story, and they'll show clips from the movie, as well as photos, archival footage. So here's this struggle in the dark. It's hard to make out. But he's in the treehouse, and I'm like, oh, you have a treehouse. I was unaware of this. Again, something that gets introduced suddenly in another act. It's like
all of a sudden he's safe in there because they can't go in there.
So this is something we should have been made aware of earlier in the story, instead of showing the bully. I love the vehicles in this movie. I really do. And he's trying to save her now that she's been bit, and she begins to struggle once they get into the church because it's consecrated ground.
That was great acting on her part. There, when she's on the floor in pain because
physical.
Yeah, that was great.
He's struggling, and finally, you know, the doctor realizes that she's dead.
Well, everybody knows she's gone but him. He just doesn't want to realize she is gone.
He's reacting to holy ground. There's where she says it. Yeah. And then she's like, I'll pull out, give her the drug. But it's too late. She can't give her the drug. She zooms out of the church. He goes running after her, and she goes, Ben, no. Because I love this is the best part of this scene. He runs out there and there's nothing on those roofs. And she just disappears into the fog. He turns back to the church and she goes, they're there. They're all there. And he turns
out there.
And then it's like he sees all of them and like, fuck. And he has great oh fuck moments. Oh man, I really shouldn't have run after her.
Yeah, we don't get an explanation though. Well, all of a sudden he's so far away from the church because he didn't run for that long. But all of a sudden, he's like hundreds of meters away from the door of the church.
So he gets attacked by the groundskeeper, but she throws or hands him right as he's being grabbed the stake. And so he stakes him in midair. And then when he falls, he instead of the way they took off, for some reason, he lands on top of the vampire, which is weird because that's not how he went up. He should have come down the exact same way they went up. Physics. Science.
Why would they care about that?
In writing, you have to fucking do things to explain yourself. You really do.
I say, why would they care?
Haven't you seen the rest of this movie?
Yeah, right.
So now it's another day. We now understand that we've had an additional 2 days. So it's been 4 days by watching this movie that's gone by. 4 days. And it's clearly longer than that.
Yeah. That's more than a week now.
So they get in town and he notices something funny here. Not in the book. This is a clever idea, which I think is handled okay at first and then badly. That the cars are gone. Why are they gone overnight? Where'd they go? Well, he's like, oh my God, I think I know where they're at. And then he goes straight to the drive-in theater because that was their first date. And I thought this is a neat way to have it because they've already been to the house. And so the vampire would know that that's where he's at his weakest. He needs to find a new place to hide, especially since his daywalker is dead. So he's like ordering them, I need 4 of you to carry me, carry my casket. No, please be careful. It's all got all my soil in it.
Well, it already broke when the 2 dudes transported it at the beginning of the movie. It fell and a corner broke off. So they knew it was full of dirt, which is actually soil, but it's already got
I just like that scene so much.
Yeah, stupid.
Because the big thing was how cold the crate was. It's in the book and it's in the original film. It's like ice cold. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah, and then it starts moving towards them. That was scary.
Well,
which, by the way, I believe. Oh wait, sorry, Martin. What?
In all honesty, they put that fucking big crate inside the truck and didn't secure it. Of course, it was going to move,
and it didn't. You know, in this one, and I think it should have been the same. But I think that was inspired not from the book, but from the show The Night Gallery with the wingless vampire bat that was turned into a brooch, but it's actually still alive. And you see it during the night moving further up towards the neck. The more she moves, the more it moves. Oh, my God, I love that episode. It scared the shit out of me as a kid. And it felt like that was inspired by them. So this scene is goofy as fuck. So he thinks that Barlow is hiding here. So he goes here by his fucking self, by himself. But Glick is there for some reason, which
Ralphie, yeah,
makes no sense.
Oh, Danny, I keep mixing them up.
And it's not like I don't mind that he kills Danny and then says, "I told you, I gave you my word that I would put you to rest." You know.
When did he do that? I don't remember that.
It was earlier when he came to him. He says, "I will do that." He says that, yells that at him.
Okay, yeah.
The rest are all hiding, but the cars are all gone. This is the big reveal moment where it's like, where are all the cars? Why are they gone? And then he gets this clever idea. Oh, wait. Let's go to the drive-in theater at dusk.
Yeah.
No, it's middle of the day.
Instead of holding down, you know, they always do something really stupid. And
yeah.
So this is what should have happened here. They should have been trying to find them, hunting for them, going to the house, and it's empty. They're not there. It's like, well, where the hell are they? We're losing time. We got to hurry. Go into town. Then they see this. They should have all been together, and Glick should have been killed at the mansion. I think they should have been a couple of stragglers there.
It's also weird to kill the whole town off so quickly. Like, nobody figured out they are safe inside.
That's not what happened. They kill a handful, but they panic. The only target they were really aiming for was Barlow, because there was a belief that if they destroy the main vampire, they may destroy the brood. But that's not how it works.
No, I mean the vampires. The vampires kill the whole town so quickly because none of the citizens figures out they're safe when they stay inside their houses. Because the vampires
everybody that hasn't been turned left. That town is empty.
Okay.
And like the sheriff, he fucking split, and there are other people splitting.
And they still got him.
No, they got a bulk of them. They didn't get everybody. Yeah. Some escaped. Okay, so back to where we're at here, and what I'm trying to talk about is that this is a clever idea putting them all together, but they needed a daywalker. So by creating a daywalker, it makes sense. The companion.
The crazy mom, yeah.
But I really hated that character so much, the way she was written. Just a terrible character. This should have been somebody else other than her mother.
To be honest, yeah, it may look nice and nifty and all you want, but using the cars as coffin wouldn't be so bad if they were under a roof and not exposed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. All it needed was enough people to open the fucking trunks, and one daywalker would never have been able to do much to prevent all the vampires from being killed. And they were sitting out there all fucking day.
Don't they have garage?
Yeah.
There?
And then it gets dark so soon. The scene
This
starts
is a small
in the middle
town.
of the fucking day.
This is a small town.
So
my assumption is this wasn't for like permanence. This was to figure out what to do and to deal with these people. So they hid out here.
Not a good idea.
I don't think that they considered that he might figure it out when all the cars are gone.
It's obvious. It's a small town. That's a huge parking lot.
It's a big risk.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too.
But maybe that was all available. So I hate doing this. I'm arguing for the sake of this happening.
They had houses.
Because it may have been for all of them. I don't know. This is just, I thought it was a clever idea. And I did like this, that was protecting them from the sun.
Until the kid mows it down, yeah. But
and again, I like that he mows it down, but I think he should use
super quick sunset made no sense.
I think he should have, well, just the movement of the thing. You know, so that the sun should have been still in the sky, but blocked by that. And they can move around in Stephen King's universe that he created. They can move around in shadow.
In a lot of universes, they can. It's just direct sunlight that kills them.
Well, it's even direct sunlight. They just can't, you know, like Dracula moves around in daylight, but he wears protection, clothes, and he's weaker. He doesn't have all of his strength. He can only have that at night.
It looked cool when they all burst into flames.
Which is something akin to what we do in my story, but much smarter. In fact, I think my scene's scarier. Shinatsky and Tom fucking both of them like that moment in my story.
Oh, there was nothing scary.
When you meet the vampires' minions is really fucking scary the way I did it. Because it's creepy as fuck. So they're like,
are they all politicians?
What?
Now he has, I don't think that's wood. I think that's metal.
Yes.
That coffin?
So this thing would weigh at least 500 pounds. And I can tell you right now, these two would not be able to pull that thing out. I love Bruce Greenwood in anything he's in.
Yeah, even Utrecht.
I don't know what you just said.
Even in Utrecht, he was in JJ Star Trek movies.
I liked him. Yeah, I thought he was good. It's not Star Trek, but I thought he was good. I thought Chris Pine was good. I thought all the acting in it was really good. I just disliked certain things they did. I just didn't like what they did.
Pine.
I did. I like Chris Pine.
I like Chris Pine, but I didn't like him as Kirk.
I thought he kind of nailed it. He found that quirkiness. He brought it out. The cockiness of Jim Kirk. All right, here's the fight. Barlow. It's like suddenly it just goes dark. Night.
And
there she is. You know, She's so poor white trash. She's in the concession area.
Oh my God, that's so elitist of you.
And she's still, they just make her an animal. So now it's suddenly gray. It wouldn't be gray right now. Gray would come in about half an hour to 45 minutes. But within seconds, it's gray going night. And there he is. The sun was just up. It would still be orange.
Yeah. The timing in that scene makes no sense.
Well, so much of the inconsistencies, it really doesn't surprise me they're not going to be consistent in their final act.
Yeah, it feels like they were, fuck it, let's wrap this.
They should have shown that human moment as they die, like a look of thank you.
They do, though. The eyes get soft. You see that in Danny and you see it
You
in
don't
her.
see them look at him. They don't look at him. They just die.
No, but the eyes get human again.
I don't mind that. I'm saying something
That's
else.
a detail I like.
No, I'm adding an additional thing that they should look at the person that killed them with a look of thank you. Not just peace. Thank you. Because they're trapped in this.
Until they begin to like it. But none of them are vampires long enough to be there.
Now, I do like this shit where he hides under the screen that's now covering all the cars.
Marilyn.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson. Made a rock. And I enjoyed that. I fucking love that. A stake through the back of the head, going through the mouth, leaving a big old hole. Fuck yeah, that was cool.
That would distract him for a bit. And then you still have to stake him through the heart. Because that wouldn't have
That's what he does here.
Okay.
That just created a window.
I understand the whole thing of theatricality and drama and looks good on screen, but that is a risk. I would have gone directly from the heart to the heart. Forget the head. Go through the heart.
He should have gone through his back into his heart, but they did it for a visual reason. They did.
And the stake ended so close to the kid's face.
Yeah.
That was a risky move.
Oh my God, I stabbed the vampire and the kid. So
sorry.
Sorry. I'm Canadian. Sorry.
Oh, we need a movie about Canadian vampires always apologizing to their victims. And they get beaten because the government convinced them to use maid service.
Why do I get the feeling that this would be a lot like Strange Brew?
Could you imagine making a vampire movie that's like Strange Brew?
No.
I'm going
do not give people
eat your blood, eh?
That does not.
Now this is a huge failure right here. Yeah, I'm not sorry. So let me explain how the original film and the book ended. Yeah, actually, I've heard other people, Slasher Fred, say that same thing. I saw it a long time ago. I went and I saw some images from it. Oh, I have seen that one. I saw it on TV. I just can't remember if I liked it or not, but I do remember having seen it. But I've heard from other people that it was really good. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. I'm trying to do it this Friday because I love that.
What do you mean trying to do? You set it up already. I have no choice to watch it with you tomorrow.
I have to watch it with you. I have to watch that scary clown, Pennywise.
That is the best version of that story.
It is. And I love that they left out some of the stupid shit that Stephen King put into that book.
Thank God. The thing that happened in the sewer.
They did keep one thing in it at the end, but I got to tell you, at the end, I felt in the movie it worked better than the ending in the book.
The fight, the big old ass spider,
the bite.
Oh,
that was so stupid. I hate it. Basically, this is the true form of it, and the being that helps them is Gamera versus a giant crab spider.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's a
kaiju movie,
kaiju film or book. It's a kaiju book. And then they have that moment in the film, and I still think it's kind of weak, but I do like that miniseries movie. So,
Well, guys,
but
you'll need
the ending
to
of this book, I
Friday.
was trying to explain.
I have to find out whether I
This
made
is-
it to the fucking movie or not.
Yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up here, and because I hate the ending of this movie.
Yeah,
I hate it. I beyond hate it. I loathe it. Loathing something is worse because that is also including loss of respect. And so it shows them victorious in one night. It's dwindled down to just the two of them, and they're going to leave. Why? I don't know. Why are they leaving? It's just such a weird fucking ending. It makes no sense, and it doesn't follow what was in the book, because what happened in the book and in the original miniseries, because it was adapted from the book too, it says Jerusalem's Lot again. That pisses me off when I see that sign.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you have to say it like Lopan. It pisses me off to no
really
end.
pisses me off to no end. That's right. I need to clip that because I love that when he says that.
I gave you timestamp for that. We should have a clip somewhere.
So basically, in the book, they killed a bunch of them, but their goal was to get Barlow. They ended Barlow, but it didn't have the effect that they hoped for, which was to kill all the other vampires. They survived. So they fled the town knowing that they were out to kill them. And they fled all the way down to Guatemala, where the whole story you learn has been told to you through confession to a priest in the book. And that they're still on the hunt for him. But at the end of the book, the same book, they come back 1 year later to finish the job, to kill the remaining vampires. We're starving, by the way, which was the problem of creating vampires this way. And so they kill anybody left in the town, and it took a year. And that's what we were hoping for back in the 80s when
with Return to Salem's Lot.
Yeah. And we did not get that. We got some weird fucking movie that was just crap. And it looked like it was written by Larry Cohen, and don't get me wrong, I love Larry Cohen, but he's such a B movie guy. He writes everything like a B fucking movie, which works for B movies. It did not work for Return to Salem's Lot. I think I've seen that one, but I'm not remembering it right now. So, two great miniseries films are by Stephen King, originally by Stephen King, adapted from is the original Salem's Lot, and It. And I got to be honest, I have a rule that I get angry, and every person should be like this. Get angry if somebody goes and remakes something and doesn't make it better. If you can't adapt something and make it better than the first adaptation, don't fucking bother. And a good writer knows. A good director knows. So that's my feeling on that. So we're wrapped. I think we're pretty much done. I do want to go through the list. I'm not going to do the mirror today. This is the last show that will be from the Pop Culture Minefield account, unless they drop their prices. I'm going to keep the account, but we're going to move over to Martin's account because for some reason he still has it. But you keep watching your email. That's how I got the warning. And because it went to the Dangerous Nerd account, I don't always check that. I check it maybe once a week, once 2 weeks. So that one slipped by me until I went back and looked and went, oh, they did fucking warn me. I will check it out. I also like the anthological films that Hammer produced in the late 60s, early 70s, especially the ones that had Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing associated. One of them, they're on a train, I forget the name of it, and they have a soothsayer there that pulls out the cards and begins reading their fortunes. And you see the story of how they're going to die. And then you find out he's not a soothsayer at all, he's death. Come to claim them because they didn't know they were dead. So nobody's talking, so I'm assuming I may as well just wrap this up. Again, this episode was brought to you by David Soul's Soul. We know his soul also hated this movie. And the guy had a lot of soul, not just the name, but the heart. And I love the relationship he had with Paul Michael Glaser that played Starsky, that they were very close all the way to his death. In fact, you would find photos every once in a while of him wheeling him around in a wheelchair. I love that shit, man. Because, Glaser's wife died. And so he needed something close and he didn't want to have another relationship. So he just focused on his friendship with good old David Soul here. And I hate it, but one day we're going to lose Paul Michael Glaser too, because he's fucking 80. I think he's 79 or 80. Let me go look it up.
The last time I saw him was in that Jack Nicholson movie.
He's fucking
something's
81
gonna
years
give.
old, man. Yes. Here we go. I hate it when it does that. I'm in the studio and then it pushes me to the window, which makes it harder for me to share it, add it to the screen when they do that. So this is Paul. He's 81 years old. Look at him. He looks great.
Good.
He looks better than Harrison Ford. They're the same age. And by the way, it was just my boss's birthday. He turned 80 2.5 weeks ago. They went to Vegas.
Nice.
And I told Julia, hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Go for it, baby. Yeah. I love Julia. So, and I love Dale too, but I'm closer with Julia than I am with the skipper. But it's changing because he's not leaving as much. He's staying more around the house, focusing on the business from there. So I get to interact with him more than I did in the past. And I got to tell you, I still get nervous around him. I do. And he's one of the few people that makes me nervous.
As long as he doesn't call you son, you're fine.
That I'm really nervous about that when I'm working on something. And I'm serious. When I send artwork to him, oh my fucking God, let me get out of this square thing. So I will just be like this. Oh my God. I'm so apprehensive. I'm constantly like hitting because I have two screens. So I'm looking over here and I'm clicking refresh on my email. And I'll do that for hours on end, just fucking on pins and needles, waiting. Did he like it? And what made me happy was I did this one. I'll show you real quick. I did this painting for him. And Warriors, is that it? That's it. Yep, right there. How big is that? It's too big. Damn it.
Jason. Come on, do it.
Careful what you wish for.
So I'm just going to open it because all of them are too big. Oh, it's not going to let me do that. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. I just need to open the file. Open. There we go. And then I will share my screen. Because his reaction to this was pure elation. And he has told me that this is his favorite painting that I've done so far. Then screen. There we go. It did it to me again. It kicked me from the studio back over there. Takes longer to add it. There it is. Because that's him. I did a painting of him. And I've done 3 paintings with him in it. 4. I'm sorry. I forgot about the speedboat one. But he really liked this painting. You can see what I did with the painting and the pencil work in there. Everything in this, he was so delighted that I also put his head over the logo. And the whole thing with all of his books, the Shake Davis series, is the I is always the letter
The shape of the country.
Shape of the continent. Yeah, the country
I love
or
that.
island. And it was something that Julie and I came up with together on that. Let's see. Hold on. Let me. I hated those books. She knows I did. That guy was so fucking hard to deal with. That was fun to paint. I still haven't done this. I have to do that book cover for her. Yeah, I'm looking for more work. I was bugging her. I said, yeah, I can use a little pay bills and shit and stuff.
And stuff. Okay.
I think you should end that. Oh, this is one of my favorite paintings I ever did. See if I can. There it is. I went in there and sketched each face of these guys from the photo and then painted it.
Hey, what's Monkey Jeep was doing there?
Where?
You see
This
the
guy?
center guy? Center guy.
That doesn't look like
To his left and then up. And then up. Go up. No, to his left.
That is Monkey Jeebus.
No, not that one. Move it to the other side. Opposite side. Scroll it to the opposite. No. Oh, forget it.
This is the opposite side.
No. Down. A little down.
Down.
No,
Move
man,
it left or right.
Zoom out. I need to refocus again. Zoom out. Not in, out. Okay. Move it. Okay. Did you see that guy?
There he is.
The center guy draw a diagonal line. That one.
That's him, yes.
That's
Oh my
Monkey
God.
Jeep.
Monkey Jeep is out of pot to smoke because he looks pissed.
But this was published on the official Navy, U.S. Navy's book, Korean Odyssey. And so I'm super proud that I did that cover. But I need to get to Shake Davis series. I love doing the covers for Shake Davis.
Look at Chinatsky being salty here.
And I did 2 different versions of that one. So let me open both.
Guys, I need to get going. I'm sorry.
There's Dale on the cover. This is not the completed version because I didn't know what weapon he wanted, so I had to wait until he told me. I love you, sweetheart.
Bye, Anima.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart.
See you in TGI. Yeah.
I will see you tomorrow. There we go. Now we see the finished book. Got the soldier ducked behind the corner. And it's drone warfare. He wrote about this years back, drone combat. It's fun painting in that little drone. But that's Skipper right there. I like adding him to the books. And where is the Sheikh Davis? This one? No. Because I did the whole book series. Oh, well. I'll open this one because there's another one where it has Dale's face on it. This is the one they used, the Sheikh Davis series, for the entire series of books. That was fucking awesome, getting to paint that. And the funny part is I got to pull this stuff off really quick.
That's what she said.
Because the original book cover on this one was a photo. And then when he was going to republish it, I actually did the artwork. So this was the final cover. I drew in and painted one of the Sikorskys and then penciled in the hooch. I do a lot of cool shit with them. That's it. Stop showing off.
Yeah.
We can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we really need.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that, seeing some of my artwork. Yay. I'm an artist. Yay.
I have no idea that you were an artist.
I want to thank everyone for being here. Tom, Baker, Penny, Rain on Asphalt, Mephisto, Real Wade, Country Shape Media, Hojo, Sandra Hammerschlag, Am I Dead Yet? Shinatsky, Dave C., Eastland Burkholder, Michael Isencock, not to be confused with Michael in his cock, and Eli Cortez and Slasher Fred. Thank you all for being here, man. It was great hanging out with you. And I'm sorry if you like this film and we shit all over something you like, but I'm going at it from a technical aspect. I'm not doing it just as an opinion piece. Structurally, it is just a terribly produced film. Nonsensical. John Colicos. One of my favorite roles, just a bit part, was in the movie The Changeling with George C. Scott. Great fucking. We just watched it because it's one of my favorite films to watch during the Halloween season. So, that's it, guys. Thanks for being here, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Say bye, Martin.
Bye, Martin.
This episode was brought to you by the letter A.